Hey Russell fam, in today's video we are going to talk about the ABCs of how to best homeschool. We'll be back in just a second. Hi, my name is Becky and welcome to Russell's Loving Life. I am a homeschooling mom of two and I have been homeschooling since 2012. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We are so glad you are here. Please consider subscribing and clicking that little bell notification down in the bottom. That just lets you know every time we upload a new video. And if you are a returning Russell fam, we are so glad you are back. We also have a blog, which is Russell's Loving Life. I will leave a link down in the description box to that, where I talk about tips and tricks that I have learned from homeschooling since 2012. We also have an email list, so make sure to join that. I send out emails once a week. I promise I'm not going to bombard you with them, but I send out emails for new blog posts that we've done or for coupon codes for some of my affiliates. So make sure to join that email list. We also have a homeschool store that is stocked full of discount school supplies. They'll have everything you need for homeschooling. In today's video, we are going to talk about the ABCs of how to best homeschool. With everything that has been going on in 2020, there are so many parents that have just started homeschooling and they do not know where to start. And if you're one of those parents, I hope this video encourages you and gives you some information on how to best homeschool. Okay, A, abandon everything you think you know about what homeschool is supposed to look like. I was a public school child, and so when I went into homeschool, I thought that is what school had to look like. I thought we had to homeschool from 8 to 3 every day, that we had to sit at a kitchen table or at our desk and just do tons of workbooks and worksheets. But that's not it. Homeschooling is supposed to be fun. And yes, you're going to have to do some of the boring core stuff. That's just part of it. But just be flexible. If this is your first year and homeschool is not working out like you think it's going to, that is okay, because every homeschool mom goes through that. So just know that going in, that homeschool is gonna change and form to what works best for your family. So throw those expectations out the window and just have fun. B is be present. I know what you're thinking. What is she talking about? I am present. I'm here. I'm in the room. Well, being in a place doesn't mean you are being present. I know some of us have older kids and we can let them do stuff on their own, but if you are working with your child doing one-on-one work, be in that moment. Be there. Don't be multitasking, making a grocery list or, responding to emails or things like that. Be present in that moment. Be there with your child. Let your child know that you are there and y'all are on this journey together. C is cannot, is not in our vocabulary. I know that's kind of funny, but I do not let my kids tell me I cannot do it. I can't do that. I don't want to hear I can't. I want to see you trying. If you try and do your best, that's all that matters. So to me, cannot is one of those words we don't use. Try your best. And you may be amazing at it, but if you have it in your mind that you cannot do something, like most parents think, I can't homeschool, but you can. Every parent can homeschool. So we do not use the word cannot. D is do not compare yourself, your child, or your homeschool to other families. Every homeschool mom does it. I did it. But I have to keep reminding myself that their homeschool is their homeschool. It's not mine. What works for me may not work for them, and what works for them may not work for me. So don't compare yourself or your child. Every child learns differently. Every child thinks differently. So once you start comparing yourself to others, homeschools, or your child to someone else, it's just going to be a downhill slope. So don't do that. E is encourage. Encourage your child to get outside of their comfort zone. I know I got out of my comfort zone when I started homeschooling, but you have to encourage. Be your child's number one fan. Don't let them get frustrated or aggravated. Give them positive reinforcement. Tell them they can do it. Encourage them and be there. F is for Fun Fridays. I will leave a link up here in the iCard to a video of some fun activities that we do on Fun Fridays. If you are new and do not know what Fun Fridays term means, it basically means that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, most homeschool parents focus on the core subjects, and Friday is left for electives or science experiments or fun things that you didn't get to fit in during the week, like music or art, or, some of those dreaded subjects that we don't like to do with our kids. Some parents love to do baking. So Fun Fridays, there is no right or wrong way to do it. Just have fun, change it up, go on a field trip, go on a picnic in the park, just something fun. G is for gather together subjects. Now, if you are homeschooling more than one child, you are going to learn to gather your kids together and teach multiple subjects all at the same time. It makes it so much easier. And the subjects we do as a family are Bible, science, history, and read alouds. I had to think for a minute. And the subjects we do separately are language arts, like spelling, math. Those you have to do based on your child's skill level. But as many subjects as you can do together makes homeschooling so much easier. H is for helpful hearts. I think it is so important to teach your children at a young age that they need to help others. Teach your children to help do chores around the house. Teamwork all the way. Teach your the older children to help their younger siblings do things. Help teach them to volunteer. I know that we started volunteering at our local food pantry when Bailey was, I think, 18 months. And of course, he couldn't do much there, but he got to eventually do things. He got to help, stock shelves and help people get their boxes that they needed. And he learned from a young age that people out there need our help, and we need to help those that are out there. A Bible verse that I like to do when I talk about a helpful heart is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. So H is helpful hearts. I is ignore the naysayers. Now, I know this is easier said than done, because my first year of homeschooling, I had friends, I had family members that were telling me I wasn't qualified to educate my children. Well, as a parent, I am qualified to teach my children. It is legal in all 50 homeschool states, so ignore the naysayers. I know you're going to get all of this negative stuff coming about it, but just don't pay attention to it. Focus on what's best for your family, and you will have a great homeschool. J is just take breaks when needed. Now, I know that you're thinking, what are you talking about, take breaks? Well, some homeschool families will homeschool for 6 weeks, and then they'll take a week off, and then they'll homeschool for 6 weeks, and they'll take a week off. We don't do that. We just take off time when I feel that we need a break, spring break, Christmas. If we have a busy schedule that week, or if something's going on and we've got a lot going on, then we'll take a break. So just take a break when you need it. If your child is in the middle of learning a new skill, fractions, I don't like fractions. We take a bunch of breaks during fractions. So If your child is getting frustrated and you're frustrated, you are not going to teach them anything. They are not going to learn anything. So take a 10-minute break if you need to. Get up, get some water, get some coffee. Just take a break and let your child do the same thing. Get up, walk around, let them do whatever they need to do. Read a book or something. Just take that needed break. K is for know that you are not alone on this homeschool journey. There are so many moms out there that you can reach out to for support or encouragement or to ask questions. These days, there is so much social media. There's Instagram groups, there are Facebook groups, there's YouTube videos like these that are out there for you. There are homeschool groups in your area. There are co-ops in your area. I didn't know where to look for a homeschool group or a co-op when I first started homeschooling, so I checked with my library. As a homeschool parent, you are in the library all the time. So do not feel like you're alone on this journey. I started my YouTube channel and my blog because I do not want a homeschool mom to ever feel like they are alone or do not have support. I got such great support from my homeschool group my first year that I want to encourage those new homeschool parents, and so you can get the same encouragement and support that I got. If you have any homeschool questions, drop them down in the comments below. L is for listen to your child. And I know you're thinking, what? I'm not going to listen to my child. They're not going to tell me what I'm going to do. And I don't mean that. That's not what I mean at all. I don't mean listen to what they want. But when you are sitting there homeschooling your child, learn their learning style. Learn your teaching style. And as you're sitting there watching them, they will tell you, not in their words, but through their actions, in the way if they're grasping a skill or not grasping a skill. You know, the curriculum may not be working for them. And how they respond is how you listen to them. If they're struggling with something, or if they're breezing through it, just listen to your child and they will tell you what they need. M is for making memories. Now, homeschooling does not have to be all boring, sitting around, doing worksheets and workbooks and all that stuff. Have some fun in there. Make memories, all those special little moments that you get to spend one-on-one time with each of your children every day while you're working with them on homeschooling. Make memories. Cherish those memories. Cherish that time because they grow up so fast. N is for no one is perfect. I let my kids know that yes, I make mistakes, but I learn from my mistakes. And that is the most important thing, is that you learn from those mistakes and that you don't keep repeating them or keep doing that same mistake over and over and over. No one is perfect. So no one's going to pick the perfect curriculum every time. No one's going to have a great day every time. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. But as soon as you understand and know that no one is perfect, your homeschooling will be so much better. O is for opinions. I have learned that opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one, and they are not afraid to tell you what their opinion is. That they don't like that you homeschool, or that you can't do it, or there's tons of negative opinions. But there are also tons of great opinions from other homeschool moms. So just do what works best for your family. I know I say that all the time, but as a homeschooling parent, you have to figure out what works. You have to figure out that balance for your family. So everybody's got an opinion, doesn't mean you have to listen to them. P is for pray together. I love having prayer time and devotion time with my children in our Bible curriculum that we do, just because it lets me know what's on their heart, what they're feeling, if they're struggling with something, or if they have friends that they want to pray for, or how they're feeling. Praying together brings a family together. And 1 Thessalonians 5 16 through 18 says, always be joyful, never stop praying. Whatever happens, give thanks, because it's God's will in Jesus Christ that you do this. So praying together brings a family together. Q is for quit over planning. Now, I know that you can get on Pinterest and you can find a gazillion fun things that you want to do. But let me tell you, the more you plan to do, the more stressed out you are going to get. You feel like you have to rush through everything to get it all done. So sometimes less is more. So you don't have to have the big projects. You don't have to have the big, huge unit studies and all of this kind of stuff. Just keep it simple and it will be a lot less stress on you. R is for remember you are not alone. I know we talked about that earlier, but I think it is so important that homeschool moms, especially new homeschool moms, know that you are not alone on this journey. There are so many ways to reach out to other homeschool moms, so make sure you do that. If you live in a rural area where there's not a homeschool group, you can join a Facebook group. I have a Facebook group, which is Homeschool Moms Helping Homeschool Moms, so make sure to check that out, or just go to Facebook and look for some Facebook groups, or go to Instagram. There's tons of support out there. So please do not feel like you are alone. S, stress does not help. I know my first year, I was so stressed out. I was so overwhelmed. I felt like I was going to fail at what I was doing. And someone told me to buy a boxed curriculum from My Father's World, and that's what I did. And that helped me not to stress out. I didn't have to plan what we were going to do that day. I could just open it up. It had the worksheets there, so it was an open and go. So if that is something you're interested in, check it out. I'll leave a video up here in the iCard of My Father's World. And also there's a free curriculum, easy peasy, all-in-one that you can check out. So don't be stressed. T is for teach anywhere. The fun part about homeschooling is you can be flexible. You can teach your kids in the car, when you're driving around, you can teach them in the grocery store, you can teach them at the kitchen table, on the couch, on the floor, you can teach on vacation. So homeschooling is all about teaching anywhere and everywhere. If you are walking down the street and you see a teachable moment, go ahead and start talking about it. So teach everywhere. U is for use what works for your family. Now, sometimes you're going to find that curriculum right off the bat that is a perfect fit for your family, and I did with My Father's World. But if you are looking for curriculums, I've got a video right here of 17 popular homeschool curriculums. But if you want to know more about a certain curriculum, search it on YouTube. There are tons of homeschooling moms out there that are using so many different curriculums that they give you a flip through or an unboxing or do a lesson with me type videos that you can find a curriculum that works for you. And if you buy a curriculum and it doesn't work, that's okay. Change it up. But you will eventually find your rhythm and find what works for you. V is for verify your state homeschool laws. You can go to the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. That is where I check out my homeschool laws every year. They haven't changed since I've started homeschooling, but that doesn't mean that they won't ever change. So it is up to you to know your state's homeschool laws and regulations, and this is a great resource to do that. W is work as a team. Now, I know most of the homeschooling responsibility usually falls on the mom because the dad is working outside of the home. But there are a lot of parents nowadays that are doing teamwork homeschooling or homeschooling night schooling. I'll link a video up here about that. But that is where you do your homeschooling at night, or mom does subjects in the morning, and then when dad gets home, he helps with homeschool subjects. For example, like my husband helps when we go on field trips. He goes with us. We're currently working on a STEM project where he is an engineer, and he and Bailey designed it in the 3D computer system software, and now they are physically building it. And I will be posting an update on that later. But work as a team. You and your spouse have to be on the same page when it comes to homeschooling. X is for X out what doesn't work. Put a big old X on it and say, nope, not doing this. Like morning baskets. I don't do those because they don't work for us. My kids get up at different times, and so the stuff we would do in a morning basket, we do in our homeschool day, in our curriculum. So homeschool baskets don't work for us. If there's a curriculum you know that doesn't work well for you, exit out. You don't have to use it. Poetry tea time. Now, maybe when Becca gets older, we may do some poetry tea time, but with Bailey, I X that one out because he is not about sitting around reading poetry and having little snacks and drinking out of a teacup. He's just not. So if it's not working for your family, exit out and find something that does work. Y is for you can do this. You have been homeschooling your child from the beginning, and you may not even be realizing it or thought of it that way. You know, you taught them how to crawl, how to walk, how to eat, how to dress themselves. You potty trained them. You taught them how to sing a song, how to count their ABCs. So you have been homeschooling your child. So you can do it. So don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't. Z is for zero in on what works. Now, I know you're going to say, how do I know what works? Well, once you find that perfect fit for your family, stay with it. Stay there and focus on that. Maybe it's a schedule. Maybe it's a routine. Maybe it's a block schedule. Maybe it's a certain curriculum. Maybe it is a certain day of the week that you do experiments or fun days. But zero in on what works for your family, and you will have a great homeschool. I hope you have found these ABCs to be helpful and supportive and encourage you in your homeschool journey. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. As always, remember to be kind, be careful, be considerate, and have a great day. Bye.